all right.
What time do you normally go to bed?
About midnight,
And what time do you wake up?
6:30 every day.
What is your morning routine like?
I have to tend to my wife. I open the computer, I check the emails from here, I have to organise her breakfast, I have to organise, we have help comes in and gives her a shower, and I have to be around for that. We have other people who come in. I had a nurse come in today. Every fortnight we have a nurse come in and have a look. This honey business?
Yeah.
Oh, no, 2016?
So 4 years ago.
Yes.
And you are 87? 87!
We have highly specialised equipment that treats the honey well. Don't boil it or blend it with cheap honey or something. We try to produce in the bottle the way it came out of the hive. That's our aim. We can't quite do that. We've got to take the wax out. We've got to do a few things. We keep the temperature down and we test it and we make sure we only buy reputable honey. The problem is that we set out to provide a quality product to the world. What you wouldn't understand that I know is that 80% of all agricultural product in Australia is exported. We don't have enough people to eat all we grow, so we sell it. That this business will know if it stays in the control of the beekeepers, and that is the structure of this business, that the beekeepers must always be in control. I'm working for the beekeepers. I'm also working for people who put money in. I was approached by a man who recognised that I had some skill and that he wanted to export honey. He had some beehives and told me he had a lot of connections offshore. I thought about it. I liked him, but when I thought about honey and the land of milk and honey, I thought honey's a staple. I researched the honey market and realised that it was fragmented, that the only large player was not working in the interests of farmers. I have a great sympathy for farmers, having come from many generations of farmers, and I decided to do it. So we established a growers cooperative. Then we needed a marketing arm, a manufacturing arm, to take the raw product and convert it into a sale. That's not ours, and that's not ours. We do that for other people. This business is still growing. This business has not yet reached anything like its full potential. But you see, a year ago, we were not packing 40,000 jars a month. 18 months ago, though, we were packing 20,000 a month. And then that fell away because the people we were dealing with were not the right people. We didn't know that at the time, but once we started to pack for them, they then wanted to pull the price down and down and down. And I drew a line and said, no, we're not going below that price. And they said, well, we go somewhere else. Goodbye.
So now how many honeys are you bottling at the minute?
40,000. Yeah, and I'm capable of doing more than that, and I'm thinking of moving into bigger premises. Well, the reason I'm running a business is that I've always run businesses. Since I recovered, it took me 5 years to get over polio, to be back to being a person again, a different person to the one I was. When I made myself over, I worked for other people and learned about business because I didn't know about business. I suppose I have to take you back to the habit I formed. Because my mother taught me when I was very little, she taught me that if you think a thing, you'll do an action. And if you do an action, you can reap a habit. If you get a habit, you reap a lifetime. And I developed the habit of working because I could see nothing else, because farmers always work. You see, we're different. Farmers don't have holidays at weekends. So I had a habit all my life. I've had a busy life. I've had my downs and I've had my ups, like everybody in life. I have a wife of 64 years. I need to look after her. If your life's been business, why would you want to stop and play bridge? Or go fishing? I like fishing. I like sailing.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to do it every day. I'd like to keep it like the ice cream at the end of the meal. But the meal is business.
If you can say 3 things.
3 things, the things I learned: to have a good plan. In my life, I've sometimes done things without a good plan. I've learned you need a good plan, you need a good product, if you like, and you need to be honest. The biggest challenge in business is when people lose honesty. I'm not saying they're dishonest, but they see a problem, and they'll cut a corner to solve the problem, but they can't do that unless it's honestly done. If you've got a problem in a business, you've got to face it bang. So that's uncomfortable sometimes. Sometimes it's easier to cut a corner. But like all corners you cut, eventually they come back. The challenge.
Challenges.
Yeah. Do you know what it means to run a race, a big race, like run a mile or 2 kilometres? What keeps you going towards the end is winning, isn't it? Tough in the middle. It's really tough. I've been there, done that. I mean, if we set out to do it, we either keep going or we stop. I could say don't. If somebody wants to start a business, don't look at the boss and think I can do that too, because that's not necessarily, he hasn't learned that skill. You need to have some skill, or you don't need to take partners, because partners will fall apart. You need to know you can do it yourself. Then you can take a partner after some experience. But if you take a partner, sooner or later it'll do this. That's human nature. If you want to start a business, learn about business. Not learn about the product, learn about business. Learn about how to make a debit and a credit. Learn about how profit works. Learn about how to cost things. Learn that stuff. Learn about the market. Now, there are people out there called consultants. The key is not to have the wrong consultant. I'm not very sympathetic to governments run by people who've never been in business, because government is a business. So people who get there because they're a trade unionist or something don't generally make a very good job. Well, the best way to learn a business is to research it. And to research it, you've got to have some knowledge of the business. But you should have knowledge of business, like a business plan. I spent 3 months. He kept saying, when are we going to start? And I said, I'm not ready yet. 3 months. I did nothing. I was doing nothing else. Well, my normal life. But I researched Capilano. That's the big honey company in Australia, Capilano.
Okay.
They're a public company, so I was able to get their stock exchange reports, annual reports and things, and read them all. So I could read, and I discovered about the honey industry. Then I began to realise that in 2006, Capilano was a beekeeper cooperative. I mean, at the moment, there's a lot of businesses in the world are going to stop because of this virus thing. Because you lose momentum, you lose people, like the airlines. The airlines have got a terrifying problem. You look at airlines, now they're big. They couldn't predict this. Well, perhaps they should have. Perhaps there should have been some modelling done on a pandemic and not all this nonsense about global warming, which is just a fad. Global warming is nonsense. But, the global warming, just as an aside, that in a business, you just have to try and analyse what to do. Mm-hmm. And you seek help. A sailing expression, when you run into a storm in a sailing boat, you take most of the sails off. You run with one little sail and you point it into the wind and you hunker down. And if the business is having a problem, you cut it back. You try and work out why is the problem and is there a way out.
If it looks like there's no way out,
Finish. Don't settle that else. If it's got no way out, close it down. In self-defense, in defense of everything, you've got to be a realist. I've seen people who took their wife's jewellery and sold it, who did all sorts of things to keep a business going that was never ever going to succeed. It isn't a failure, it isn't bad. I mean, all endeavour has got no 100% guarantee of succeeding. This place has got no guarantee of succeeding. Like we've had the bushfires, we've had the floods, we've had the drought. Now we've got the COVID virus and we're still going. But I'll tell you what, we've had some challenges here and we've still got challenges here. You've got to analyse it. It's just a conscious decision. And you go away and do something else. You don't go away, oh, I failed. I tried. That's a better way to look at it. You tried.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for your time. In closing,
I have a great love for Australia. Write something. Write something that might just inspire a generation. I can do that.
To grow Australia.
To grow Australia. To make it the happy, prosperous place it could be.